Pikachu.
Hi viewers, welcome to the fourth and final part of a noob's first Pokemon Leafgreen nuzlocke run. For the last video, I continue to take on Elite 4. So, next is Bruno who starts with an Onyx and I start with my X who sets up Sunny Day and one-shots Onyx with Solar Beam. Next comes Hitmonchan which survives with quarter of its HP from Solar Beam, but then it gets healed. But fortunately, our following Solar Beam gets a crit, knocking out Hitmonchan. Next is Hitmonlee, who again survives with quarter of its HP after Solar Beam and retaliates with powerful Mega Kick which leaves X with just 23 HP. So it's time to switch. So I bring in Sludge and finish it off with Sludge Bomb. I then bring in my Tortu for facing his second Onyx who goes down to a single Surf. Then comes Machamp. Surf is only taking like one third of its HP and Machamp launches its powerful cross chop which still leaves Tortu's HP above half, but I decided to play safe as it has high critical hit ratio by bringing in Sludge who takes a resisted cross chop and then finishes the battle by knocking out Machamp with Sludge Bomb. 2 down and 2 to go. Up next we face Ghost Specialist Agatha who starts with a Gengar, so we send in the cat incarnation of Zapdos which outspits Gengar and hits it with a bite and also gets a flinch and so takes it out on the second turn without even a sweat. Then comes Golbat. I gave a wild attempt with Thunder and as my anxiety said it missed, and on top of that Cat Zapdos gets confused, so I bring in my Pebble. But since Golbat outspeeds Pebble, Pebble was hit with another confused ray and got confused. I used Rock Slide, it passes confusion but fails to land because of its poor accuracy. Sheesh, early gen rock type moves man. And then for the next couple of turns, Pebble flinches for Golbat's bite. But then I advised my Pebble to go on and fight like a man instead of flinching. And so it connects Rock Slide successfully as it was free from confusion. But Golbat barely survives. Since Golbat's HP is low, Agatha uses full restore as expected. I use Rock Slide once again and once again it's just hanging in. And following turn I finished off with Double Edge. Then comes Arbok. Once again I don't know what I was thinking. I could have easily continued with Pebble, but I chose to go with Cat Zapdos. And on top of being careless, now I became even dumber by using Thunder, but very fortunately it hits. But it isn't enough to take the Arbok down, and then Arbok launches a very powerful Sludge Bomb which leaves us with just 4 HP. I could have easily gone with Bite, but silly me, I went back to bring in my Thick Boy and take it down successfully with a Body Slam. Then comes a second Gengar which fails to put us to sleep and survives with a small amount of HP of Thick Boy's Shadow Ball. It further heals through a Citrus Berry. So this is Big Brain time. I anticipated Hypnosis and chose Sleep Talk. As expected, Snorlax was put to sleep, but I realized it has the worst move pool as it goes for rest. Then Sludge Bomb from Gengar brings down HP to red, and so once again Sleep Talk fails as Body Slam was chosen. So there's no other way. I go for a full restore and heal my Thick Boy, which is then hit with consecutive Sludge Bomb and also gets poison. But then we successfully land Shadow Ball to take the menacing Gengar down. Next comes Haunter. It goes for a curse, so I one-shot it with Shadow Ball, thus clearing Agatha, and we head down to the final Elite 4 member. Up next, Lance starts with a Gyarados, so I set up Rain Dance with my Cat Zapdos. Its bite does us so much, so we take it down with a one-shot Thunder. Next comes Dragonair, so I bring in my Tortu to use my coverage move, the super effective Ice Beam, which leaves it with just 10% of its HP. Then comes Dragon Rage. On the next turn I go for a bite since I know he's surely gonna use full restore. So on the next turn I take it down comfortably with Ice Beam. Next comes his second Dragonair, to whom I try to do the same strategy, but this time I get paralyzed in the middle. But on my next turn I pass through paralysis and take it down with an Ice Beam. Next comes his ace Pokemon Dragonite, who starts with an Outrage which leaves us with just 59 HP, and my follow-up 4 times super effective Ice Beam did not take it down. It also recovers a little HP with Berry. I know the next turn he's going to heal, so I too heal my Blastoise with Hyper Potion. Where is the healing? At least Dragonite got confused. It then connects with the Hyper Beam, breaking confusion barrier and leaves us with just 16 HP. I go for another Hyper Potion. During the next turn, Dragonite hurts itself in confusion, and the next turn I hit an Ice Beam despite paralysis and take it down finally. Last comes his Aerodactyl, who should have gone down on a single surf, but we weren't able to move because of paralysis. But on the second turn, we land a surf and take it down. But ooh, it barely survives. Then I switch into some other Pokemon just to be cool, So Pebble comes in and uses Rock Slide, but it survives with a Slither. And then on the next turn, we take it down with a successful Rock Slide and complete my very first Nuzlocke as a Pokemon Nuzlocke noob.
Hold up, wait a minute.
We still have to defeat my rival who for some reason had the audacity to go to Pokemon League even before me, right after we pulverize him just before the league. Gotta appreciate his attitude, man. So as usual, it's Pidgeot vs Cat Zapdos for the opener. I set up a Rain Dance and one-shot it with Thunder. Next is Rhydon. Finally man, he evolved it. Then I bring in my Tortu, but it gets hit with an Earthquake, taking just more than half of Tortu's HP. But then Tortu strikes back with Surf to take it down. Then comes Venusaur. Seriously, I would have switched to something else, but since it's the last battle and I'm confident I would win, so I let my Tortu to stay. Also, it's still rainy, which means it's only damaging more Solar Beam will only do 50% of its damage. I continue to use Tortu. I use Ice Beam. Ice Beam only did just above half damage to Venusaur, so I switch in Muk, who takes a resisted Solar Beam, which barely moves it, and then not one, but 2 consecutive Sludge Bombs take our rival's Pokemon down. Then is Alakazam. As I previously mentioned, it's our last battle, so I kinda stayed with Sludge, but as expected, Sludge dies. Forgive me Sludge, you worked extremely hard to earn a place in my party to the Pokemon League and served your purpose, but I'm just a noob and I carelessly let you down. I hope you rest in peace now. Then comes Cat Zapdos. Since I sacrificed Sludge last turn, Jolteon was able to outspeed and strike first with Bite. A very thanks to my EV speed training. The very purpose of my EV training was to outspeed my rival's Alakazam, and not only that, we also get a lucky flinch. So we put Alakazam down on the second turn without even losing a single HP. Then comes Gyarados. I don't rush, I attack patiently by waiting a turn to set up Rain Dance, and then boom, one hit KO on the next turn with Thunder. But we do lose nearly half of our HP. Then comes Arcanine, who outspeeds us only cause of Extreme Speed's priority. We use Thunder, which leave it with quarter of health, and once again another priority Extreme Speed, and we lose Cat Zapdos. So I bring in Pebble to sort out this problem, who finishes Arcanine, and thus it secures our run. Now I'm the Nuzlocke champion, baby. My reign is over already. Yeah, now get out of here. Let Kanto welcome its new champion. Well, that marks the end of our run. Well, I had to admit it was a lot of fun. Although I can't exactly say all the stories I had in my mind, cause I tried this run when the first COVID-19 lockdown was announced. As the name suggests, it was on the end of 2019, and right now we are in the first half of 2023 when this video is getting released. So you could know after how many days I have edited this video. Also, there were quite a few mistakes in the way how I played the Nuzlocke. The main mistake I did is playing the first Pokemon per route very badly. So basically in a Nuzlocke you could catch only the first Pokemon in that route. But how I took it is that any area which has a different encounter rate, I considered it as a new place or new area. So that's why I kept catching multiple Pokemons in caves, as I counted in each floor as separate areas as they have different encounter rates. But the easiest way to describe this rule is that you always look upon your Pokemon summary, and this location area right here should be unique. And maybe if you want, you could add exceptions to it for like static encounters and of course the Safari Zone. And as most people suggested, Kanto remakes were a very good place to start a Nuzlocke. Of course it is. I also had a feeling that I could have directly went to a hardcore Nuzlocke without a normal Nuzlocke. But yeah, nevertheless, it was very fun. And also please do forget about those massive list of Pokemons dead. Man, I think it's like 15 or 16 or maybe even more than that. I'm not really sure, but I'm really very sorry for all of them. So as I have given it a start, I might be doing further hardcore nuzlocke challenges. I do have a pretty few hardcore nuzlocke runs recorded in, and I want you guys to support me. So see you guys in another exciting, definitely not, but maybe another video on how a noob plays some hardcore nuzlocke challenges. So anyways, see you guys.